So where are we going?
Well, we're going to the local barber in Barcelona to get another haircut. No, you're not filming. You're not. Are you filming?
People ask me all the time why we don't drive. We have a car, but this is why. There's no parking in Barcelona. Okay, so here I am at the gym, and right across from the gym, which is really close to my house, is great, is, check it out, I'll show you, it's right across the street. Yeah, so right there, you can see the front gate, and you see a little bit of the sign back behind there, but it's behind the fence there. And then this right here, I'll show you a video clip. My son first try, with his foot shot up, made a basket. It's kind of...
Take one. Let's do this.
Okay, so a couple things about the Liverpool event. Very controversial topic on that event. I'm about to share it with you. But first, I just want to let you know that I was a little bit tired when I was doing it. And when I get tired, to get my points across, I tend to use foul language. I normally don't like to do that because I'm a family guy and I like my kids to watch some of the things that I do, but this is not one I have my kids watch. So if you're taken by offensive language, then definitely don't watch this. So before we move on to the Liverpool event, I've got to tell you what happened on a plane. You're not going to believe it. Okay, so the reason you're looking at a picture is because I asked us not to film anything. They had police on the airplane, and so we're in at Barcelona. They haven't closed the cabin doors yet. They've been open for about a half an hour, and the reason is because an extra passenger without a ticket is on the plane. We've been trying to figure out who it is. Now, there was 3 security checks, and at each security check to get on this plane, we had to show a passport and a boarding pass. And I want to know how the heck someone got on the plane without a boarding pass. Okay, you're going to notice in the presentation that there's a guy in the audience that kind of thinks that just he and I are the only 2 people in the whole room, and he wants to start a conversation on several occasions. Now, if you do presentations enough, you're going to find people like this. It's not their fault. They're engaged. They're asking really important questions they want to know. It's just that many times you're on a schedule. You've got to get this done at a certain time, in fact, a little bit early. Always be prepared to take your content and go from 30 minutes to 50 minutes and be flexible inside that, because a lot of times it's running behind on that end of it. And my presentation was early in the morning. If my presentation ran over, then everyone else is going to start a domino effect. So I wanted to finish a couple minutes early, so I just let this guy know what you want to say, and I want to hear you, but let's do it after the presentation. Notice I had to tell him a couple of times. Okay, so with the Liverpool event, before we move on to that really quickly here, people always ask, what kind of equipment did you use during the event? Because I'm always about redundancy. I've done enough presentations to know that you can get there, cameras don't work, their clickers don't work, presentations don't work, the mics don't work, so you want to bring some backup with you. Let me show you some of my most favorite tools if you ever give presentations. These are things that you definitely want to bring with you. This is one of my favorite right here. This is a tungsten, and it works on any computer, and all you got to do is you do the back of this, you open it up, you can put your whole presentation in here, and then just slide it right in the back of here. And what I like about this is as soon as you put this memory card in here, it turns off these buttons so that it doesn't sit in your bag when you travel and then wear out the battery. Really clever. Take this out, you can plug it into anybody's laptop. It'll automatically control PowerPoint or Keynote, and it's just real intuitive. You never know when you have someone else using someone else's pointer and clicker, sometimes it doesn't work. A lot of times they don't. You'd be surprised. Plus, you don't have to get used to it. You're used to using this one, and you can have your entire presentation right here. Very smart. So I always bring that. Second item I bring on that end of it is usually the sound quality is not very good. So what I like to do is I carry one of these in my back pocket. It's $100. It's an H1. You can use these to do podcasts. Very portable, very small. I can slip it in the back pocket. Really good sound quality, as you'll hear on the tape, and usually a lot better than where the presentation that you're going to will have, unless it's a big production. And then I take this and I put a little lavalier on it right here. And this is a Rode mic lavalier right there. I just put that on. This one's about 35 bucks. I've tested out a whole bunch, one of the best. You put these two together. This one just goes right in my back pocket, no one sees it. And this right here, just clip it on here and I'm ready to go. Now the last thing that I bring is I bring a little tiny tripod, just in case. You'd be surprised how many times at a presentation you'll come to it and guess what happens? They run out of memory or their cameras don't work and you don't get a chance to film it. Okay, well guess what happened during this event? Their camera got broken. Good thing I brought all of my stuff along, like this fits all in my bag. Took out my iPhone, same one I'm using right now, put it up, boom, I'm ready to go. And that's why you're able to watch this presentation. All right, I gotta pick up my daughter from school. So what kind of amazing things did you learn at school today?
I learned how to take exams.
You learned how to do what?
Take exams.
Really?
Yeah.
But did they teach you how to do critical thinking? Or just how to take exams?
How to take exams.
Did you ask teachers why they don't teach you how to think critically?
I should.
So yeah, not a real big fan of school, mainly because they teach kids how to take good tests, how to follow directions, how to work for another company. And that's just not what we're all about. We're more about critical thinking outside the box. Think about anybody who's made a very significant change in the world. Usually they weren't formally educated. Okay, so at the end of this video, you're going to get a link to the controversial presentation in Liverpool. Enjoy. So now that you're a good test taker, how's that going to help you out in life?
It's not.